Awesome. How can you see the correct screen? Okay, awesome. So yeah, my name is Kasim, and I'm the founder of a company called Remote Base, amongst a couple of other companies. So Remote Base, I started about 5 years ago. It's a marketplace for software engineers. So we help US companies hire remote software engineers. It's been around, yeah, like I said, for 5 years. We have over 350,000 engineers that we've screened through the platform over the last few years. And then I also run a venture studio. So we build vertical AI agents for different use cases. So we have an AI interviewer we've built, and we are partnering with LinkedIn right now to help screen some of the candidates for their clients. We have an AI immigration assistant. And then this is the third product we've built out of the venture studio. It's called SnapDev. I'll tell you more about it. But that's kind of what I do. One second. Uh,
Um,
okay,
what's
perfect.
wild?
Um, Awesome. So I'll tell you how and how we sort of came about the idea of doing a bootcamp. So I spoke to a lot of my friends, people that were technical and people that were non-technical. So we work with a lot of engineers, and they work with tools, IDs like Cursor and Windsurf, which work really, really well for engineers. And I think they're absolutely awesome. And then we also spoke to a lot of non-technical folks in my company, and they've used Bolt and Lovable. And then I've spoken to my friends and as well that are non-technical, Bolt, Lovable, V0. So they work amazingly well for prototyping and building MVPs. But once you start extending your product, every single individual that I spoke to ran into a problem and an obstacle where they couldn't get out of it. And I thought, there has to be a better way to do this. So essentially, what we did with SnapCamp was that what if we could use a tool like Cursor and Windsurf, but pair it with a one-on-one engineer so that if anybody ever gets stuck, they can hop on a call with an engineer and help solve their problems. So that's kind of where the idea came about. And then the goal for me was that can I get a group of 10 individuals for the first cohort that have never coded in their life, and then create full-blown applications by the end of 4 weeks. And that went really, really well. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So what is SnapCamp? So it's a 2.5 week boot camp. It combines vibe coding. So you have an AI coding assistant that you can work with. You have one-on-one engineering support whenever you get stuck. You have daily sessions, and then you have a community that supports you throughout the entire process. The mission and like goal is very simple. It's like pairing AI and humans together to be able to ship your products. So our goal as part of this bootcamp is simple. You come in with an idea and you leave with a product. Anything and everything that we need to do to make that happen is we'll make it happen, from providing engineering support to daily sessions to one-on-ones, anything you need to accomplish that. And that's what we did with the first cohort as well. So we had capped it at 10 participants, but we got way too many applications. So we ended up picking 13 awesome people, Cassie and Shayan being one of those as well. We had 13 participants. We shipped every single person from the entire cohort was able to build a product and ship it. The reason I wrote 12.5 is because only one product has had one feature missing. Apart from that, everyone was able to ship and convert their complete ideas into working products during the cohort. So that was awesome. And then the net promoter score sounds a little unreal, but it is real. So we got 91 as our net promoter score. And then what was super interesting learning part of the first cohort that we ran was that the average one-on-one engineer time used was 3.5 hours per participant. In fact, everyone had 5 hours of engineering time allotted to them, but only 3.5 hours was used, which sort of told us that a lot of work people are able to learn and do quickly. They just require like some help from engineers, which we were able to provide, and they were able to ship complete products. So this is not like entire engineering teams building your product and and you just taking a back seat. It's you actually building through the entire product, your ideas, whatever changes you want to make. And then if you get really, really stuck and you can't move forward, that's when an engineer hops on. And then lastly, every single individual who was part of the first cohort had zero prior coding experience. So they were able to ship production grade applications with no coding experience. What made this possible? So we had like a daily ritual of waking up 8 a.m. and syncing together just to identify what problems each individual was facing, how we can help resolve them. And then we also did our sessions where we highlighted tips and tricks, how to wipe code, what platform to use, etc., etc. And then we had live support, like I mentioned, one-on-one engineering time when people got stuck. We had a community, and then we had something super interesting, which is we've built our own AI agents that turned your ideas into like very detailed development plans that we shared with the community, with the cohort members that were then able to take those development plans and then build entire applications around those. So that was interesting. These are like different AI agents that are able to create like sprints and tasks, and then those tasks are fed into the AI coding assistants, and that's how we're able to like build so quickly, and like build very complete, thorough products. You'll see a couple of demos towards the end of what I'm talking about, as Shayan and Cassie are gonna showcase that. So as part of the learnings from the first cohort, we've also turned all the learnings we had into like our own sort of product. It's an AI coding assistant called SnapDev. So we took an extension, it's called RuCode, it's open source, and we've like added on our own features on top of it. So not only do you get the AI coding assistant, but you are able to reach out to engineers just through one interface. So it's super incredible. You're able to auto generate PRD documents, architectural diagrams, sprint plans, etc. So that will be part of the next cohort as well, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more. And the entire focus of the product is to focus on non-engineers, primarily product leaders and non-technical founders, to be able to help them ship. Um, the idea is that, with SnapDev, you don't have to buy software anymore. You can just go out and build it. And I really mean it, because people have really, really built some pretty extensive projects in the first cohort. And I'm super excited about the next one, because I feel like we want to outdo ourselves and build even more extensive complete production applications. When I say production applications, that not only have they built it, they've also deployed it to production on a live URL that users can then use and experience them. So in the hands of the consumers. So SnapCamp 2.0, which is the next boot camp, is going to start August 8th. It's going to be 2.5 weeks. What that means is we're going to start on a Friday. So the first week is going to be super intense. It's going to be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 8th, 9th, 10th, is when we're going to tell you more about how to build it. We'll actually take 3 days and build something tangible within those 3 days, your ideas, and then we'll just start extending those ideas in the next 2 weeks. So it's going to be 2.5 weeks. First cohort was 4 weeks, but what was exciting was people were able to start finishing up products within 2 weeks. So we've shrank it a little bit, but also are dedicating more hours per day so that we can ensure that you have like completely functional products by end of 2.5 weeks. Structure is very simple. Mondays and Wednesdays are going to be sessions around how to wipe code. Tuesday is going to be, ask me anything with the engineers. So you can just hop on a call, ask questions. Thursday is going to be group sessions where you just talk to your cohort group and share tips and tricks. And then Fridays are going to be demo days. So we'll have 2 demo days as part of this cohort. So yeah, that's what SnapCamp 2.0 is. I know I went over it pretty quickly, so I will dedicate at least like 20 minutes by the end of this call to answer any questions. The fee is $12.95, but for early bird, if you sign up today, it's just gonna take 2 minutes maximum. So please sign up during this call. It doesn't require anything. All you have to do is like add your LinkedIn information, fill out 2 3 MCQ questions. Will take 2 minutes and just get your name in there. So if you sign up today, you're going to get $300 off. It's going to be $995 for the early bird. It comes with 5 hours of engineering time. So we took the first cohort. We were initially thinking more engineering time, but based on the results of the first cohort, we're going to dedicate 5 hours of engineering time and actually increase the API credits, because we've spoken to a lot of cohort 1 members and they ended up spending some extra amount on the API credit. So we've bumped that up to $400, which comes part of this 995. So you get 5 hours plus $400 of API credits that you can use, and over 10 hours of live sessions, and then one-on-one engineering and the community and everything else comes with it that I've mentioned so far. So timing is super critical. So we'll have one session in the morning, and then as you fill out the form, please do so if you can during the call. Please select the time that works for you, and then we'll pick another time. So ideally, we will have two different time zones, two different times, which so that we can have people in the morning session and then do the same thing in the evening session as well, so that if somebody can't make it in the morning session, can do the evening one and vice versa. But we'll have fixed cohorts. So if you're in the morning session, please like select it in the form. If you're in the evening session, select it in the form so that you get to work with the same individuals every day. But we're gonna keep two timelines so it suits people's schedules better. So yeah, those are the timings. That's a little bit about it. I won't bore you extensively for another 15-20 minutes. I'll take more question and answers. But
Kasim,
yeah,
can we actually just take answer a few of the questions
yes,
that came into the chat before we have Cassie and Cheyenne share their demos?
yes, let's do it.
Okay, so Preyas had a question around were the products deployed on a hosted domain or a cloud environment?
No, so the product is live on a like a cloud environment. So you actually do the deployments yourself, and then you set the DNS, and then you have your own URL. You deploy it. So we're using Vercel for the front end and Render for the back end, if you wanna know. And then yeah, it's all on the cloud.
Got it. So essentially, if I have a domain address already, I can just point it to the DNS and then it's basically set up on the DNS.
Exactly. So, and
Awesome.
you will be part of the deployment process as well. So you'll learn how to set up your CI/CD pipeline. How do you push code
Oh,
to,
love it.
and then GitHub will push it to, Vercel. And then you're like, no, I don't want to use Vercel. I want to use something else. So you are basically going to be an engineer without writing any code.
Awesome.
Okay, and let me just run through a bunch of these questions that came into the chat really quickly. Rachana has her hand up. So we'll take a bunch of questions, then go to the demos. Okay, next question. Sid, hi Sid, wanted to know if he could start a few days late, or do you need everybody to start on that August 8th?
I think that's a great question. I would recommend starting August 8th, but FYI, Ha was also out for 2 weeks during the first cohort. We had a bunch of different people and they were able to catch up. So a couple of days late is fine. We do record the sessions. So I think it's fine. Just don't try to miss too many sessions. But even if you start late, it is our responsibility to make sure that you ship products as long as you're available, as long as you're when you come back, you can dedicate a couple of more hours. It's fine.
Yeah, I found that with the recorded sessions, it was helpful for me to be able to watch it on my own time. And then, in any extra free hours during my vacation, I would vibe code and then hit a blocker and then call an engineer. So it worked out fine. Kelly wanted to see a recording of previous demo days, which we can send out the link afterwards. But you will see two demos today. Cassie and Cheyenne are going to show off their products, and it's pretty impressive what they built. Will there be another session after for those with a scheduling conflict? So what's the thought around future bootcamp time?
Yeah. So that's why we're doing two times this time. So just please fill out the form. So we'll have a morning session and an evening session. So fill out the form and pick the time that suits that you don't have a scheduling conflict with.
Okay.
And then in terms of the next boot camp, yes, we will have.
Scheduling conflict didn't mean times of day. It meant family vacation at the start that wouldn't miss a lot of the boot camp.
Yep,
So
yep.
just wondering if there's going to be another session like that someone could join in September or October.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's we haven't finalized the dates yet, but there's obviously going to be another session. I love doing this. I love how,
Awesome.
people that have never coded end up with production grade applications in hands of customers. I want to do this for the next few years. So yes, there will be more cohorts, more boot camps.
Okay, Clement was wondering, he filled out a form a couple of days ago. Is he all set? I think it's a different form that you're talking about, right? So we have a Google form, and then there is a sign up form, which is different.
Um,
Was the
so,
same
so
form.
I'll check during this call. So just go to like so I'll
Oops.
so I will share the link in the chat as well, but just go to like snapdev.ai /snapcamp, or just if you go to the main.fi website, you can click on it and just click on register and you'll go to the form. I'll paste, actually, let me just, so this is the scan. You can just scan this and just directly scan this and directly go to the form as well.
Teresa wants to know, are the meetings daily for 2.5 weeks?
Yes, they are daily.
Monday,
1 hour,
Monday through Friday, Monday through Friday.
Monday to Friday. Yes.
Angela, are there certain kinds of applications or products that you think benefit more than others from this approach?
Great question. So I would recommend not doing mobile applications. That's it. Everything else works. And as long as it's a web application, we can build it within 2.5 weeks, test it. If it's a mobile application, it just gets a little bit more complicated, but that can be done. But yeah, the best kind of apps are web apps that can be built through this process.
Okay, and then there's a bunch more questions. Why don't we, I know, who had, Rachana, you had your hand up. Why don't you go off mute, ask your question, and then we're gonna go into the demos and then answer the rest of the questions after the demos.
Awesome. Hi, Kasim. Super excited about this, and thank you for the invite. Quick question. What if I have an idea, but I'm not sure about the feasibility, where like I'm assuming I can scrape some of this data for getting my idea off the ground as well?
Yep.
Um,
So
so is there a feasibility establishment stage or?
great question. That's the first week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So even before you start the bootcamp, we ask people for their ideas. This is what we did in the first cohort as well. We understand the feasibility, and then we leave comments. Of how feasible we think it is, and then if they can, like, if they want to like prioritize 1, 2, 3 features. So we'll work with you through that. So 100% work with you on that. Apart from that, just to quickly answer about scraping, quick recommendation, just use Firecrawl. So there's a tool called Firecrawl. You can go on the Firecrawl website even right now, give it a link, write in natural language what you want to scrape and see if it's able to scrape it, and you'll know the feasibility as well.
Got it. And so what happens if I end up with, sorry, just to close that out, like, or anyone in the group ends up with an idea that's not feasible? Do you have to drop out or are there
No, no.
backup? Yeah.
No. So we've not had a single person that whose idea was not, the idea itself was not feasible. So we'd like tweak it, right? We'd say, okay, you wanted to build a mobile application. Maybe you build the MVP as a web application first, test it out, give it in the hands of customers. Or if you had a certain feature. So for example, somebody wanted to do a very deep integration with the Zoom SDK, which I advised not to do because then that would require a lot of hands-on engineering time. So I recommended that they build a simple UI interface on their own web app, and where they can speak to an AI. So we'll do like a slightly different variation and tell you what works. The idea and the goal is like you should be able to put it in the hands of customers by the end of the bootcamp. So your MVP doesn't need to be exactly the way you imagine it on day one, right? So we'll work with you on that.
Yeah, and then what I found was like really to me the key unlock was that engineers have secrets that like we as product leaders might not know. Like and so they guide us through like, okay, what database to use or what like environment to deploy to, or just things that I know like I would not have gotten as far as I did if I didn't learn some of the engineering secrets of like how to produce better search results in natural language. There's something called, oh, vector database, and you should go and use Pinecone and stuff like that. And so there, so I think it's just remarkable to be able to like call on a dev 24/7, and then they can tell you, like they can guide you architecturally or guide you on how to better like implement your app. And so I thought that was very cool. Should we move into demos? Let's get Cassie. I think Cassie's going first.
Yes. So, oops. Yep. So, first up we have Cassie. Cassie has been awesome. Cohort 1, she absolutely crushed it. Hers was the most beautiful product. As soon as we started, like within 3 days, she was up and running, and since then she's been building. So would love to see a little bit of what she's done, a couple of screens, and then also hear her experience, and then we'll have Shayan. So Shayan is like his project is super exciting because it's less. So he's built like, I don't know, 12 different applications in 2 different products in 4 weeks without having any prior coding experience. So Shayan, please try to keep it in 10 minutes because his demo goes on for 30 minutes because he's just built way too many things. But Cassie, do you want to start off first? Just share your experience and the product that you've built.
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. It's great to be here, and I'm so glad you guys are all checking this out. Before I jump in, or while I start talking, it'd be really wonderful to see people put in the chat. I'm just curious what your role is and your context is, because our first cohort was a lot of people who are product people, but there were people on the business side, on the sales side, and so it's just really helpful to see the context here, because I think it can be intimidating sometimes. Think, oh my gosh, I'm going to code all of this. What does that mean? So I'll do a real quick on just my context and background, just to make it more relatable. I've been in product since 2004, really. I coded a little bit in college in a VBA for Excel class circa the year 2000. So I don't think that counts. It was a very long time ago. I had an idea. I tried to explore it in Bolt, and then I had a failure, and then tried again in Lovable, and I was frustrated. And I started to explore Bubble.io and Figma because I just wanted to be able to drag and drop things. And I was just really frustrated, and it got connected through some communities to this cohort, this bootcamp. Mind blowing. Like, the entire experience was really amazing. And so let me go ahead and share my screen, and I will show more about what I built. Okay, so can everybody see my screen? I was just checking that out, Kasim. That looks really cool. Okay, so this is my website on my local. If anybody wants to go see it in real live on the webs, that would be at arete.coach. So you're welcome to go and check that out. I have my current production app behind a bit of a wall because I decided that I wanted to do some more fortification around data privacy and security before I go full GA. So, but here we are. So this is my app, and it's about executive coaching. So I basically believe that executive coaching and leadership coaching is a fundamental for any person's growth if they are a leader in tech or a leader in business. And I want to create the app that makes it really easy for both parties there. So it's a multi-sided platform for leaders and for coaches that's also augmented with AI, because AI absolutely is going to transform the delivery of coaching. And so if we go into the app itself, my app has 3 key areas: your journey, which is basically an Instagram feed of your growth experiences; your center, which is a little bit more of your evergreen journaling or just reflection on who you are, right? What your values are, what charges your battery, what drains your battery, what your personality might be, and then of course coaching. So this is where you can see your coach that you have, you can access them, you can ask them questions, you can set your privacy settings for what they can or cannot see based on what you're putting in. It will be able to support multiple coaches as an enhancement coming soon on the roadmap. Right now it's 1 coach. And the basic idea of my app is that it's going to be like the well-worn journal that any leader takes from 1 moment of coaching through to however long they grow in their entire career. So it's not these bursts of potential learning and development and growth. It's this continuous journey, and I have pricing plans and strategies all set up to support through that as well. But to give an example of what this looks like, right now, let's just say there was a 360 review for Luke Skywalker, our protagonist in this demo. And this was an event that happened on July 17th. It's based on this PDF that was uploaded. And he can go in now and look and see and learn more through the lenses of some coaching concepts. How is he deepening his understanding of himself? What relationships is he navigating? How does he need to optimize his performance? And what's he making progress towards in terms of his goals? Right now, I have a very simple text uploader. Oh, goodness. Let's see. My full, let's see here. Oh, no, it's the wrong one. Hold on. Let's see. Uh-oh. Hold on a second. I'm going to hide. Well, let's see. Hide my screen for just a second because I didn't realize I had my full thing set up here. One moment, please. How do I pause? Pause. Okay. Desktop. And there it is. Okay. Okay, and resume. Okay, so this is my folder where I've got all of the different things that we can have Luke upload. It was really fun for just, I realized I could go into Claude and be like, hey, Claude, make me demo data for this concept of Luke and Yoda working together as a client and a coach, and make me 360 reviews or give me coaching sessions. So like if they had this coaching session here, we can pull that in, and then it's actually reviewing the data and summarizing it through those different lenses that I set forth. I'm going to be creating different templates for different types of things that people could upload. So there's one for like a coaching session, which has those 4 things: understanding myself, understanding my relationships, my growth, etc. But now we've got the details here. So let's see here. This was like a therapy session. Coaching session 5. So he's developed the ability to separate his personal identity from family legacy. Woohoo, go Luke. Okay, so that's my demo. Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, we'll take
PJ.
one or two questions and then move on to
Yeah.
Cheyenne's demo. So PJ has his hand up.
Quick question. Yeah, Prayas here. Sorry. The design looks pretty nice, pretty slick. You have good taste, or did you use a template from somewhere? I want to just clarify.
Yeah, so I had multiple iterations of this. Like the very first
Awesome.
version that Kasim said I did and that everybody's like loved, it was using, it was just pure what the code output in terms of the design. And it had a polish to it. Definitely wasn't my style. Definitely was not this. And then I tried again with some more polish. So there's different tools. There's different ways to create CSS templates. There's one tool that I found which was really great where you could create choose from a multitude of palettes. So and then let's see here. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Here's all my tool list that I had for all the things that I was doing. So this was really neat. It's just like, oh, I could go in here, pick a different concept, and then export that CSS and basically put that into my code base. And then you can see how that looks across different things. So then you could create, it's really easy to create a polished AI supported style guide.
Very cool.
And then I also did some things which I thought would be fun to show real quick. Sorry, I know this is a lot, but this is like me creating my pathway, right? This is that was a big part of me figuring out the feeling of the journey in the Instagram feed. And so this just shows I spent an hour, I think, probably going back and forth, figuring things out. And you can kind of see how that path how it started to crystallize a little bit more using pure AI. Now, the hour before this, I was in wireframes and Miro, and then I was like, no, I think I need to do it in Figma. It needs to look gorgeous. It needs to feel rich. This is what I want. And then I was did that for 30 minutes, was a rabbit hole. I just was screw it. Let's see what this thing can do. And this is through voice prompts that I got this.
Okay, awesome. Very cool.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any more quick questions for Cassie? Otherwise, let's move to Cheyenne.
I have a quick comment. So somebody asked in the chat as well. Yes, I'll be doing like a one-on-one call with everyone that signs up. I did this in the last cohort just to learn a little bit more about you, your idea, see if the bootcamp is a good fit for you, and answer any questions that you have. So want this to be a very like concierge sort of bootcamp where we look into every single individual, and then I have an internal sheet where I track progress for every single person moving through it. So it's very important for me to talk to you on day one and then talk to you when you push things to production, and just make sure that those are sort of aligned, like what you came in with the idea, you left with the product.
And Kasim's pretty good at like doing checkpoints during the morning calls of like everybody go through and share what you got done between the last session and today's session, because it does hold you like there's some pure accountability there of like, oh, whoops, I didn't get a chance to work on it, but now I need to work on it. And there's demo days for the group on Fridays, and so you will make progress because there's these checkpoints. There's the Kasim accountability, the peer accountability, the demo days on Fridays, and of course, like at the very end of the boot camp, there's a demo day where you can invite your friends to participate, etc. So I think all of those checkpoints really help people like feel confident that they can they can make progress and get something out.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I also message people. So if you miss a
yeah,
couple
yeah.
of meetings, I will DM you
Exactly.
and ask what's up.
Like, hey, what's going on? Are you stuck? Do you want to hop on a call? Okay, Cheyenne, let's just move over to your demo, and then hopefully we'll still have a lot of time for questions. So Cheyenne won my award for like most impressive boot camp participant. So you'll see. Just as Kasim said, like totally blown away that he worked on this on his own in 3 weeks, and it would have taken a small engineering team at least 6 months to have built out. And then Shiner was telling me like how at one point he brought in an engineer to work on the product like months ago, um, and couldn't get as much progress as he did in 3 weeks by himself. So go ahead, Cheyenne.
All right. Hi everyone. My name is Shayan. Do you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna start with this quick introduction. I've been on like visualizing the product side before in my life, but I never have coded before this, and maybe I still haven't. It's their program and their setup that did the whole job. So really excited, but I just want to say a couple of things before I dive in. One is that like I think I stepped in with just like thinking, hey, let me just try something out or test something out. And eventually what I was able to ship and build was beyond even my expectations. So, so go in with, I know there was one question saying, hey, what if our product is not even feasible, not buildable? I built something which was not even thinkable. So you guys can all do it once you really get in. So without further ado, let me go in. So we're looking at a restaurant marketing automation platform, right? Which is Uplit. The goal is for restaurants, especially in the SMB space, to help them get them in front of doors, get them more customers, more footfall, get their marketing going through different things, through giving them analytics, doing their campaign optimization and automation, and then omni-channel integration, like having everything in one place versus them going to different places, right? So I like showing built stuff that's built. So dark mode, like modes, there's a lot of stuff that's built, but let's go and hit login and show you how this can go do different things. So I will go in and I'm going to log in first as a restaurateur, like using the platform. But just to show you, before that, I also built this widget where you can ask questions. What does Uplet do for restaurants, right? And it can answer all those questions and say, hey, smart marketing automation, and how do I get started? So it's basically that it's like a person guiding you through and kind of trying to sell you the product, or telling you how much you can get and what you can expect. So this guy is supposed to be there, be interactive. But then let's go in, let's sign in as a restaurant using the platform. So, this is our first dashboard, where, they in one screen, they're supposed to see everything related to marketing, right? So they see a bunch of analytics, they see campaigns that are going on, their quick actions, of course, and then there's a marketing score that they get. You'll understand how they get this, and how they can eventually turn all of these efforts into real revenue, right? Getting into the first part, I'll say, hey, I want to get you new customers, and I want to run an ad on Facebook. So let's get going. So, I put my restaurant name, I put my item that I want to promote. I'll put my offer in, choose a file of anything. Let's say I'll choose my pizza, should be here, and then I can hit preview ad copy. So what this is doing on the back end is basically it's connected with OpenAI. It's going to generate your content, look at your picture, and then eventually come up with a nice little caption for that ad, right? Calling all local food lovers. So it's a nice caption that anyone like a good marketer would have built. So it's doing all of that. And then if you like it, it has the promo code, and you can really launch the Facebook ad. Now, this will connect with your Facebook, and then eventually run, and then later on give you insights on how it did, and what your expectations were, and then eventually how did you end up. So that's going to be advertising right through this platform. Next up is going to be, one of the most important things in restaurant marketing today, which is SMS. So you want to similarly be able to like send an SMS right away. Same thing, we'll go in and then build like get an Excel file of all the customers you want to send a message to, and then build your offer, and really review it. And then same way, if you like the SMS that they have, you can send it over to customers, right? So you get those insights, you can get the cost. This is again connected with tools on the back end to actually send that SMS out. So that's the next way to like engage with customers and build your community. But then being in the restaurant tech world, I know that for a fact one of the biggest things restaurants are lacking in both ways, as far as like, who has it and then who has the right one, is a website. So a lot of restaurants, they do not. And I eventually, this is what I was saying before. It was not part of my idea when I started, but when I was really empowered by SnapTab and all the tools and things were working, I was like, okay, let's solve this big problem also, right? So then I came up with the website builder. I worked on it. There is an AI powered website builder where you can put your prompt in and generate your basic website and then customize it. But then, if you really want your own taste, you could go in and browse templates, right? And see which one, you like more, and then choose one of those, right? Modern, casual, cafe, quick service, whatever, customize this template. And this is really, if, you guys know Wix, Squarespace. So this is really going to be that tool, but really focused on restaurants, knowing what the best format is for restaurants, and then build it that way, right? So you can say anything, Roma pizza, and then it's live, and it's editing everything in there. Again, a lot of text is generated through AI, and it has that AI engine linked at the back end. But you can always change it. It's optimized for tablets, it's optimized for phones, right? You can do everything in here, right? You can customize your design, and then even have your menu items really pulled in and integrated in there. So this is really cool, but because this is easy for them, and pretty easy for them to build, and you could easily keep working on it and add more stuff. So for example, you wanted to add more pictures, more sections on, more questions on FAQs, your gallery, your reviews. Again, built purpose built for restaurants, right? So you can get all of that going and then see how it looks and eventually ship it. You can even publish it. So this website could be live, and restaurants would be, they have everything in one place, right? So that was the website builder. And then the next piece is the AI features part. I will quickly skim through it. There's a digital presence creator where you can put your website link and all that and analyze how your restaurant really is doing on the digital space. It will give you some insights and then say, hey, this is probably what you can improve quickly on the website end, on your Google profile, on your social media, and so on. And then there is the content creator where you can quickly upload an image, right? And say, hey, I want to enhance this image quickly and then post it on social media. So you can choose a preset and then eventually it will generate the picture for you and improve it and then be social media ready. So, all of that is in here, right? And generally what people would do is they would have to go open ChatGPT or some other tool, put stuff in there, and then use it, combine everything together. Here, they can do pretty much everything, from here. If they like the picture, they can generate it for Instagram and then really post it also once they have integrated all their tools in there. So that's the other piece. And then the last one is really marketing foundations, where you were seeing the score before. So this is something which is built to like guide the restaurants on what they need to really do. So for example, they need to work on the Google business profile, the website, social media presence, and so on, right? So there's a lot of stuff that need to know, but it's overwhelming a lot of times. So which is why they sometimes need that guidance. And once they're doing all of these checklist items, their score keeps going up, right? And they'll progress. And if they haven't done something, of course, it will take the score away. So this is something which will motivate them, give them a sense of where they are, and keep on building them. But then, so they go to their dashboard and they see their progress. So this is them. Quickly moving over to the other side, which is the admin. So again, to manage a beast of a product like this, you definitely need a comprehensive admin portal where you can see everything that's going on. You can manage those restaurants, even handhold them by impersonating and doing some stuff for them. Manage your subscriptions, however they run. Look at like content moderation stuff. If they're using content which is not great, or if AI is not generating the right kind of content. And then again, feature management on what you can enable for particular restaurants or disable, right? Based on their subscription plans. There's more stuff, but with short time, I don't want to go in everything. But then again, there's the business assistant that can also help the admin. So there's a bunch of stuff that the admins can use to really manage the product in the best possible way. Because again, it's not just the customers using it. You might as well build for the other party. Quick time check. How many minutes do I have?
Let's do only 2-3 minutes for the second product, if possible.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'll just take 2 minutes. So the second product really is, it's a marketplace for restaurants and their vendors. So vendors like, their meat vendor, produce vendor, all of those things, right, where they order from regularly. So this marketplace will have restaurants listed, it will have vendors listed, and the goal is for them to be able to go in and quickly order. So I'm gonna go into this one. I'll use like some demo credentials. So just to show you quickly the structure, I won't go in details, but like the restaurant will have its dashboard where they can see their orders, like total orders, pending, confirmed, and even fulfilled one. This would not load the marketplace right now, but the marketplace would have all the vendors listed, which they can choose from. They can place an order, choose a vendor that they like, and then give their specifications and all of that fun stuff. And then the order is done. The order goes out to the vendor, of course, and the vendor will receive it and say they will see which one's pending, which one's confirmed, and then again fulfilled, and they can keep doing that. And again, similarly, they can customize their profile. And lastly, I also built the admin center for this marketplace where the admin can see what's going on, how many users are coming in, if there are any pending approvals or restaurants that are stuck with something, how many new users are coming in, see the audit logs, and again, the same impersonation feature, so this is something really cool. If you've come up with a good feature, you could really have it, store it in some shape or form, in .md files, and then implement it in multiple places. And then again, user management as well, where you can see all the users and what they're doing. So with that, I'll stop here. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer. But otherwise, I can hand back to Qasim.
Yeah, seriously impressive. It feels, and really, you're a testament of like, if you can imagine it, you can build it in this boot camp. And you did this all within 3 or 4 weeks, right, Cheyenne? So,
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. And I also slacked a lot in the middle, but I think you get more self-belief as you keep going on, and I think it's the team also. So the team kind of really makes sure you're on track, right? Even if you're stuck. There was a point in time, and by the way, the how two projects came in was I was stuck with one, and I was almost like, yeah, I mean, this is not for me. Let me give up. And then these guys came in. I took my hour of, that from engineering hours, and I was like, they were able to set everything up again. And I was like, oh, okay, let's start again. And I started building on the second project, and I eventually loved the second one more. So I built that even more. So yes, you will get a lot of belief, you'll learn a lot. And believe me, I had no information on, how any of this stuff works. For example, this is MongoDB that these guys helped me set up. So all the tools, Vercel, render, setting everything up, was through the guidance that you get, and eventually you're able to ship something which could be live really on a website.
amazing. Okay, let's open it up to questions. So I know, Prayas, you had your hand up.
Yeah, super, super impressive. Amazing to see, Shayan. I've had like way back when I was doing consulting, I had customers in the restaurant industry who were asking for this. And my quote was, I don't want to give you what quote I gave them. So let's move on. Phenomenal work. I saw you answer that you did all of this in 2.5 weeks. This is very cool. Do you tap into your industry experience to kind of figure out, hey, this is what I want? Because often there are pain points that are in the back of your mind, right? Maybe you have industry experience as well. So how do you investigate what are the real requirements? What would be the right set of features? Do you just use same ChatGPT or something like that?
So yeah, that's a fantastic question. So I would say it's a mix of three things, right? First one, being industry experienced, of course, since I am from the industry. And then the second one was really like these guys, I remember Qasim's words. He's like, talk to customers, talk to real people. When you're building it, that's when you want to talk about it. See if they're ready to pay. Go there and really see if they'll pay. So that's what I did. I did the second thing. I was like, okay, I have my connections. I can talk to people. I went into random restaurants also, like, talking to the owners and seeing, hey, would this be of any use to you? And I got a lot of good feedback and great feedback. And they said, hey, no, this is rubbish, but this is good. So that's the second part. And then, yes, the third part is also AI. So for example, I knew in my head, yes, restaurant owners, they're not like very savvy with tools. So sometimes you need to help them, right? So then I was, kind of brainstorming with AI, and I was like, okay, how do we help them in the best possible way? They're like, oh, impersonation, right? We'll build you in your admin portal, build a feature where you can click and be inside the restaurant as if you were their general manager or the owner themselves. So it's a mix of all three things: industry experience, these guys helping you out in that process or giving you ideas, and then on what's possible, or maybe like the roadmap of how to build it. Build this first, step 1, step 2, step 3, and then the third thing is definitely AI.
Got it. And on the question of how many hours per day, I think Qasim answered the question, but maybe this is more of a personal question. Did you like take time off and like, okay, this is all I'm doing?
No, actually, I did not. And the reason really is because I was still working with whatever
Yeah.
I have on my daily life,
Yeah.
and then this was so interesting for me, and It's like
Awesome.
that instant gratification that kept me going. So, I'm like, oh, I thought about a feature, and in my normal life, I would have to like wireframe it, give it to someone, wait for them to build something, and then wait for a couple of weeks. Here, I was like, this is my idea. Let's try it out. And you try it out, you have the MVP feature, and then you have the full feature. So you keep going, and you never know, like, it's 4 hours. So I would come back, finish other work, and then start working on this. And this would be like really like refreshing for me every time.
Awesome.
Yeah, my business partner said the same thing. He's not a product person at all. He's in the ops world, not a product person, never coded, and he just found himself completely addicted, spending hours and hours and hours because the instant gratification and just loving it so much. And he used very little engineering time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so impressed with. And he's not here, but he also built an impressive product. Okay, let's open up to more questions for Kasim, for Cassie, or for Cheyenne. So,
I think
uh,
Shripriya had a very interesting comment. I met her as well recently, and similar comment is like, where is software going, right? Like if somebody that just learns how to code and within 3 to 4 weeks is able to build all of this, and then Shan's obviously gonna polish it up more and put it in the hands of customers and iterate. Like, why do you buy software when you can just build anything you can imagine? There's like not an engineering team. There's not 6 people's work over a year. This is like Shan working 5, 6, 7 hours a day on this. But Arvita, do you have a question?
Yeah, thank you. I was wondering if there's a way to deploy the live version to like a SOC 2 or HIPAA compliant environment.
That's a great question. We haven't tackled that yet, but that's something that Cassie actually brought up as well in terms of data privacy and stuff. So I'm having a call with her, with somebody to see how we can do that, but it wasn't part of the first cohort. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then as far as like
But
uh
it can be done. Sorry to cut you, but it can be done. We just didn't have like a medical or like something that needed like HIPAA compliance. But it can be done during the boot camp. I just have to look into it.
Just to
oh,
add to
okay.
that, I mean, when I started building all of this, right, I wasn't thinking I would be able to send an SMS, right? Because I would need some other tool, and I couldn't have built an SMS sending tool. So we figured out that yes, you can use like say Twilio or something else integrated and get it going. So there's definitely a lot that's possible. So I would say it can be done.
Oh, okay. That's really helpful to understand. Yeah, because I mean, there's all those baselines that are available for AWS or Azure or
Yep.
whatever. So like it just I don't know what specifically like are you allowing us to like set up those environments or like is
Oh,
it within your own container? I don't know. So
hun-
the
yeah.
other question I had was really on like, okay, this solves the build problem, but then like the distribution problem, how do you actually like uh get it out there? And so I think like Sid asked this and I have the same question around like how do you market it and like is there a tool for us to leverage to be able to help us promote things?
Yep. So let me answer both questions. So the first one is you control your tech stack. So this exact question about HIPAA compliance, the way if it would work in the bootcamp is you'd actually ping an engineer and then we'll match you with the right person and then you'll get on a call with them and just you can pick their mind for 30 minutes and then you control pretty much you are the engineer. Just you're not writing the code, but the entire ID that you're going to use, everything is going to be, so you have a lot of control over things. That's why Shayan was able to do Twilio and send SMS, whereas somebody else did like Zoom SDK integrations. It's like so different, the products that come out. So that's the first one. Second one, your second question was,
On shipping and distribution, like
oh
is
yeah,
it
yeah. So
something
we've
right?
already received requests from people to do another bootcamp around go to market. So primarily we're focusing right now on the build part, but what's super interesting is the community itself. So in the first cohort, we had a bunch of all product leaders coming together and sharing ideas. So you get part of that community that can then you can discuss your distribution with, get early customers with. We do a demo day where you can call your friends and potential customers that can view your product. So we are sort of going in that direction by leveraging the community, and then also by showcasing the products that you're building. We might end up doing a go to market bootcamp later on, but that's not the focus of the first bootcamp though, because the distribution is a whole other beast after your product is built.
Okay, I think we have time for a couple more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll send out the links, the recording, the sign up links, and then the link to schedule a one-on-one with Kasim after this call. But we'll take a couple more questions and then wrap up. So Clement had his hand up for a while. So hi,
Thank
Clement.
you. Yeah, hey, this is super cool. I'm super excited. I guess my question is about maybe like ongoing support. Like to me, this seems like an MVP, which is super valuable to get in the hands of customers. But I'm in education, so like I can have an MVP and test it out with a small school or two. But if I wanted to do like a district with maybe 100 schools, I might need maybe like a more robust platform. Like, what does it look like after this is over? Maybe engineering hours are done, like how will we move forward if we're successful to try to like scale what we have with the tech part.
Yep. So you'll still, great question. So you will still have access to the SnapDev platform. So you'll continue to build and you'll continue to use the AI coding assistants. And then after this is done, we will still continue with the community part of it. But the one-on-one engineering time after the bootcamp is going to be paid. After the bootcamp is over, one-on-one engineering is you only pay for how many engineering times you consume. So that's the after the bootcamp part.
Okay, thank you. That's
Yeah,
helpful.
I think every single bootcamp participant is planning on extending their feature and continuing to build on it. And again, yeah, now very used to vibe coding, enhancing their features, and then there's still the opportunity if they get stuck, they call an engineer. So uh, yeah, the only thing that is different now is that there's not that daily check-in, the pure daily accountability. But I think everybody is motivated to keep going. So. Okay, other questions? Maybe we'll take two more.
I think there's a question in the chat about if you can join as a team or just individuals.
Oh, great question. Yes, you can join as a team. If you depends on how big the team is. If you're like, so we had somebody reach out that wanted to do like their entire company's PMs. So there's like 12, 13 people. So we'll probably do a separate cohort if that's the case. But if it's 2, 3 people, yes, please join as a team. We'll get you a group discount if it's over 3, 4 people.
Qasim, we can talk about hundreds of people at some point.
I'd love to talk about that. No, awesome. Yeah, if you sign up, Sid, on the sheet.
I did already and scheduled one-on-one.
Yeah, we can discuss that on that. That's why I'm taking a call with everyone, just so that I can understand exactly what you want to do and what you want to build. Teresa, do you have a question?
Yeah. Hey, Kasim. I was wondering, based on cohort 1 and now going into cohort 2, how have you guys optimized the class? Because I'm sure you have lessons learned from what maybe would be good for us. I'm just curious what those changes were.
Oh yeah, the great question. I think cohort 1 was an insane learning opportunity for us as well to understand what works and what doesn't work. So everything that sort of worked in cohort 1, we have almost baked into the product, and it should be ready in the next week. So what do I mean? Everything. So for example, turning your ideas, we would manually get your ideas, convert them into PRD documents, share it with you, you'd edit them, then we'd convert them into development plans. So now we've like automated that process as well. So a bunch of different learnings around that. The other thing was something that really worked for us is this is not a theoretical heavy bootcamp where we're going to teach you a lot of basics CS 101 concepts. We might have more than the last time because last time we had none. This is all about how do you get your hands dirty and what is the blocker. That's it. There's like there's like a very intense focus on, okay, you came up with this idea. How do we put this into production and everything that needs to happen around that? And that's the focus. It's very, very practical, solving problems rather than teaching CS 101 classes or courses. So a bunch of learnings around that. We'll still have a couple of sessions, maybe one session around that, but main focus is how do we push to production something that's functional that can be in the hands of customers.
What's the technical proficiency for coming into this class?
Zero coding experience required. Like every individual, like Cassie said, I think she had the most or second most coding experience, and last time she did it was 25 years ago, and that wasn't like even like professional software engineering.
Thank you.
Okay, one or two more questions. Otherwise, we can wrap up. And then you'll get your questions answered during your one-on-one with Kasim anyway, so.
Yep. So next steps is like, yes, please ask more questions. But next step for everyone that's still here, please complete the application or the form. It's like 2 minutes, and then I'll actually have a one-on-one with every single individual that comes through, that comes in, answer any questions that you have. So do complete it. I'm happy to answer questions, but do it like during this call if possible, because it's just gonna take 2 minutes.
And Qasim, do we like to get the discount? Do we just pay today using somewhere, using Stripe or something? If you have, can you post that, please?
Yeah. So you will get a discount code after the one-on-one call. The one-on-one is also like a shortlisting call just to make sure it's a good fit, because I want to keep the 100% success rate. So I want to make sure that everyone that's coming through actually leaves with products. And then if you're applying, that's the sequence we're going to go in. So when I say apply today, if you've signed up, you'll be on the Google form. I'll know what date, time you signed up. So you'll get that discount if you sign up today. Your team, whoever signs up today gets that $300 discount. Okay, we have a question. Where is the form and what's the, so I've shared the form. I've shared it again. And the discount
And
is
we'll share it out after, along with the other links, like later today, after this call.
so the boot camp is $1,000 after the discount. It's $1,300. So $1,295 before discount, $995 after the discount.
And then it comes with 5 engineering hours and then the $400 of API credit. So, it's.
Yeah, essentially, we're not like really making money on the boot camp. We want to like really empower people to build on our platform. So it comes with $400 of API credits and then 5 hours of engineering time as part of the $1,000.
And what I didn't realize until after I took the boot camp was like, actually, that's where the costs come in, is like you're hitting Claude Sonnet 4 or Gemini Pro 2.5. And if you're just coding, vibe coding for hours, you'll consume a lot of API credits. And so it's nice to have $400 baked in.
So we have a question. What's the camp time? Is this full time? So there's 1 hour a day of session that you have to attend, which is our daily ritual. Join the call every single day at the same time. Apart from that 1 hour, it's up to you. You can spend 1 or 2 hours, or like Shayan did, 3, 4, or 5 hours a day. That's up to you. The more you spend, it's gonna be addictive. So this should be a disclaimer. Like once you start building, you'll just keep going. So, but anyway, it's up to you. You can spend 2, 3 hours a day on average. Just don't attend only the sessions and not work afterwards, because then that would not work.
That was kind of like me because I was on vacation in Europe and I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking, oh, I'd have all this extra time to vibe code. And then I went days without vibe coding, but that's okay. I still got something into production. It was an MVP. And as Reid Hoffman says, if you're not embarrassed about your MVP, then you ship too late. So that was the attitude that I took. So
Yeah. And Ha got a lot of traction on her product. So that was,
a lot of, well, so many people hit it that now I'm running into some query limit that I need to resolve with the engineers, but
yeah. Awesome. Yep. I think no more questions.
okay, one last question in the chat, and then oh no, Cheyenne was thinking of it. I think we're out of questions. Thank you everyone for joining us.
I think Sid has a question.
Oh, who?
Yeah. So do you have a tech stack for promoting this once we have built it? Like, do this clay for inbound, outbound, leads, generation something, and I'm sure a lot of people who are deploying to production are looking to start promoting it, you know?
Yeah, that's the number one thing we've been requested. So we're still thinking around because cohort one just ended. So people are now like, okay, how do we distribute it? So we'll probably do at least a couple of sessions for go to market after the cohort is over. But that's still a work in progress of how do you distribute it? Because like our focus for cohort one has been building and deploying to production.
And
Well, I
are
think
you
the reality is that I mean, it's a true founder problem, right? So, I mean, founders build their products, and then like the number one challenge is how do you get distribution on it? So that's, I think, something that as product leaders, we all need to learn how to how to build a
yeah,
go-to-market motion.
maybe I'll put it this way. I think the go-to-market motion is well understood, at least the way I have for whatever idea I have. I'm looking for a tech stack to implement it, right?
Mm.
So out outbound led inbound, how do you capture the leads? How do we have AI agents tackle the incoming leads, price it, provide SOC to document, yada yada yada? How do you integrate with the CRM, create and do outbound using automated systems, engagements, yada yada yada? I think Quasim, if even a simple tech stack could be put together by the time the cohort ends, like that would be awesome, right? Like, hey, here's
Yeah.
A plus our B2B plus this and off.
Yep. Yeah. It's interesting. I think you could probably build it as part of the product, and we're happy to support it. We've used like HubSpot, we've used Clay, we've used Instantly like in my other companies. So I get what you're trying to achieve. Shan built an outbound in his product, but yeah, I'll think about it of like what we can do. I think each use case is different.
Yeah. Thank you. Look
Thank
forward
you.
to hopefully build something interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
for
well,
sure.
I am gonna wrap up this call now, send out the link soon. And I'm so excited to see some of you, hopefully many of you, in the next boot camp. I'm gonna be, because I went on vacation to Europe for 2 weeks, I'm gonna attend boot camp 2 to continue to enhance my product and have the peer accountability and the support. So I will see some of you in the next boot camp. All right. Have a good
Thank
day,
you,
everyone. Thanks for
everybody.
joining. Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Shayan, and thanks, Cassie, for your demos. Thanks. Bye.